I have another Mohammad Hijab
Ooh,
video, and I haven't watched it. I haven't watched
well,
this.
it's only
So,
48
what is the
seconds.
title? Yeah,
I don't
this is
worship
I don't
women's
worship.
feelings.
I don't know what this means, but let's watch it and see, figure it out. Okay.
Like if a
This
woman, if
idea
yeah.
of
No,
Go
that's fine.
ahead.
That's fine.
Guess. Go.
Um, I reckon. Oh, look, a woman doesn't want her husband to marry another one because she's gonna feel jealous,
Oh, okay.
or like, or
This
if
is
you treat her, or if you treat her like an inferior being in a marriage, because like man is above, a husband is
I
above,
feel like
higher than wife.
this title is trying to, because it's becoming so popular to appeal to the
Clickbait.
the red pill movement is growing, and they're like, he feels like, oh, you need to be
How do
against
we
women's
attack them?
feelings.
How do we
How
get
we
them? Like
check the, like, I
Islam
don't.
is, Islam gives you a full moral code of manosphere. Like
Yeah,
Islam is actually,
yeah.
it can cater for
yeah.
a lot of
The-
these red pill incels who hate women.
exactly, exactly. They're OG red pills. So they're the red pill movement growing. A lot of
They want a
Muslims are
chunk of
trying to
that
take
too.
advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what we get here from.
This idea of aside Islam. We're Muslims. There is no aside Islam in this discussion. If I was speaking to an atheist, as I do, we can bring in liberalism and feminism. Speaking to a Muslim, you
It
said it's cheat.
feels like it.
Cheating is a word, is a construct in English language, which means infidelity, usually for the most part, right? Infidelity, it means someone has done something which is major sins of Islam. We cannot equate something which is the Sharia has not even put a sin on it with something which is kabira min kabair, which means now you're going back to the true religion, which I'm now expected as a Muslim man to follow. It's not the religion of Islam, it's the religion of women's feelings. I'm not going to follow that religion. With respect to you,
Oh, so they're talking to a bunch of Muslim women, and
Women.
they're like, "What do you?" Yeah. So he's like, "But if you do this, like women wouldn't like it, So he's like, "I don't care. I just follow the Islamic code." Let me finish. Let me finish it because there's only a few seconds left.
I'm not going to do prostration to the collective hormonal and emotional status of men or women or children or anybody else. I'm not going to do this. So I'm saying now we go back to the book and the Sunnah.
Yeah, it was kind of like what I said.
Right.
It's kind of like what I had said,
Yeah.
that basically. So it's like, oh, women's feelings, like, oh, feminism is built around women's feelings. Like, okay, hang on, you gotta treat women with equality and respect as well, because you got to take care of, like, whatever actions you do take, what kind of an impact is going to have women, on women. Like if you deprive them of education or their right to employment, etc. If you deprive them of that, it's going to have negative impact on their emotions. So I don't care about that. That the feminism is
Yeah.
built on women's emotions, whereas it's got no place in our religion. Our religion has its own moral code on its own, and we're going to follow that. I think that's what he said basically.
But you know what? If I wanted to put my Muslim hat on, so he's saying like the other person might be saying like, look, if you do this, for example, if you go get a second wife, maybe it's Islamically allowed, but I mean, we won't like it. Okay, so maybe it hurts our feelings. So please don't do it. And he's like, I don't care. These are feminist Western ideals. I'm going to look at what Islam teaches. That's what matters to us. But if I was a Muslim, I would challenge Muhammad Hijab. I'm like, what are you talking about? Islamically, hurting people, like, you're supposed to care about other people's, I mean, not other people, other Muslims, to be fair, other Muslims feelings.
Feelings.
Like, if I yeah like if I go, if I do something that hurts my wife's feelings, that's technically a sin. I'm
No,
hurting
but
her.
he's not. No. But he's saying that's objectively defined by Sharia itself, by Islam itself. So we're not
Mhm.
putting women's feeling separately. We're not basing our moral code on the basis of women's feelings. We're basing that because Allah has forbidden us to do from doing it.
Wait,
Allah
so
has
you don't
forbidden
care
us from
about their
doing it.
feeling? Yeah. No, but I just think like he's framing it in such a disgusting, dishonest way, even from an Islamic standard. Like when somebody tells you to take our feelings into account, you describing it as, I'm not gonna worship, I'm not gonna be worshiping, bow down to you, was woman's feeling. Like, why are you describing it as bowing down? it's you're just taking that into account. You're just carrying it. You're just caring about people's feelings. Like, I don't know. Like, what if I say like, hey, go care about these orphans, right? Like, Islam teaches you to take care of orphans and care about orphans. I can
because of
just
their
go like,
feelings.
oh, like, oh, I'm not going to bow down to orphans' feelings. Like, what the hell? How is that? Like, that's just like a dishonest
Yeah, it's a
way
dishonest way of
because
putting it. Yeah, because Islam also puts
putting it.
feelings. Yeah, Islam also from Islamic perspective as well. Allah is not just saying that because He likes it. Well, you could argue, I guess, that Allah likes it. That's why He's saying that. But Allah is also putting
Mm.
feelings into account, and that's why
Yeah,
Allah's saying that. That's why Allah's saying that. Be nice to orphans, or take care of your women's feelings to some extent. But one more point I wanted to make is that infidelity, cheating is infidelity, which is a major sin in Islam. No, Islam has a different name for cheating. Islam has allowed legalized cheating, 4 wives and unlimited sex slaves. That
yeah.
could
But
be
they,
viewed in the English vernacular, could also be seen as cheating. But Islam has just legalized it, basically.
but that's their point. Their point is that you call it cheating by your standards, but based on our standards, that's not
We're not
cheating.
going. Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But we
yeah.
still call it cheating.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah. I mean, because technically they call rape not cheating. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
you raped these people that you captured in war. I'm like, no, we didn't. They're like, yes, we did. They're like, no, we didn't, because we did marry them before we
But no,
before we
no, no,
raped
no, 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 worse. No, they didn't marry them. They say no, we didn't. Yeah, no, you're talking about wives though. But I mean, let's just talk about sex slaves. They didn't even marry them. They said, why are you calling them rape? Like that Afif Khaja debate. He said, why are you calling it rape? That's not rape because we don't see it as rape. We don't call it rape. We rape them, but
No,
you call that rape, but we don't call that rape.
no, but now that, yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, they still, even though they're not wives, they still call it marriage these days. Like, they're trying to call it marriage
Yeah,
because they
we're not
say,
going to accept that. We're not going to accept that.
I know we're
There
not.
is
We
no
shouldn't
marriage.
be accepted. It's not marriage, right? But they're trying to make it acceptable in the, like, they're realizing that this is such a
This is
problematic
embarrassing.
part of
Yeah.
Islam, right?
Mhm.
So they're like, oh, so they say like, because it was Islamically validated, like it was official, therefore it was marriage. So it was not rape. I'm like, okay, wait, it was marriage. So were they your wives? They're like, no, they were not our wives. They're like,
Mm.
how is it marriage if they were not even turned into your
Considered
wives?
wives. Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Because
still,
wives have
like, you're
rights.
doing,
Wives have
yeah,
rights to inheritance. Sex slaves don't. Concubines don't.
yeah,
So they can't. Yeah, I
yeah,
know. That's just whitewashing. But again, like the dirty laundry is being aired thanks to these Dawagandist people. Because if these guys
yeah,
didn't exist, then people would have been like, why are you talking about this issue? Nobody cares, man. Nobody knows about this. But now we have these people telling you, no, this is real and this is good. Let me tell you how having sex slaves by chaining their husbands and taking their wives as our concubines or our sex slaves is a good thing. Let me tell you how
yeah,
marrying a 9-year-old is a good thing. It's like, oh, no matter how they wrap this old poop in a new in new packaging, no matter how they do this, 9-year-old is always going to be disgusting. It
yeah.
just doesn't fly well. Even with Muslims, it doesn't fly well. They always squeeze. They always cringe. They're always like, can Harris, can we please talk about something else? Can we talk about the good parts? There's one God, Tawheed. Let's talk about that. Why do you have sorry guys, this is it. We're not gonna, it might be a low-hanging fruit, but this is like, seriously, we have reduced Islam. Oh, by the way, when you were talking about women's feelings, they actually said that a husband doesn't have to tell his wife in the same podcast that he's married another woman or another one or the third or fourth wife. We need to do a review on that too. Apparently, that was so stupid. Even the women were not buying that. They were like, "What? Not only you're going to cheat on me, then technically this is still cheating if you're not even announcing to the world that you've taken another woman as a wife."
Oh.
Even from a lot of Islamic scholars say that if you marry in secret and private, then that marriage is not legal in Allah's eyes because you're hiding it.